Alright, so the night before this video was supposed to go up, I rewatched it and I realized that I didn't do much of a good job explaining my points, and I left a few important things out after I discussed it with my friend Carmen, who also helped me add some stuff and reword things. This video is supposed to go up in like 6 hours, so I don't have time to re-record the entire thing, but I did want to throw in some points that I missed. I'll add captions though on what I said before and what I said after so it isn't super confusing. So here we go. Through most of my days on the internet and YouTube, I've came across an entire plethora of videos about OCs. OC reviews, OC rants, how to make a good OC, how not to make an OC, and so on. People especially like to talk about what makes an OC good, and those are the types of videos that I actually kinda have a problem with. Everyone has different tastes and opinions on what makes something good or bad, and trying to teach people that your opinion on what makes something good is the only way that makes something good is a little, well, dumb. Everyone has different opinions and tastes, and trying to tell them that there's only one specific way to make something good isn't right. There isn't a right way to make an OC, nor is there a right way to draw. Although, if it's something you want to be done in a more professional way, then there is kind of a backbone formula. Like for characters, more depth, a character design that makes sense to the OC's occupation, or for art, anatomy, light sources, and volume. You can make any OC and draw whatever you want, have it be good to you, but the truth is a good OC as well as good art is all subjective. You can follow the formula 100% and someone still may not think your OC is good, or you yourself may not think your OC is good. So if the formula doesn't work for you, then do you need that formula? I think that it should be alright to bend and twist some of the rules to make an OC an overall better and more creative and thought out character. I feel like every OC should have some sort of balance with traits, depending on what you're going for, and if you're involving these characters in an actual story, then they should have some sort of depth. But if it's just a persona or a character you want to draw or something for silly short comics or videos, then it probably isn't going to matter that much. You shouldn't be afraid to break a few rules to make your character more interesting and creative, especially if it's something small like a persona. Basically, think of the your OC is bad because it has blue hair and wings stigma. You can very well still make a more outlandish and creative character that's well developed with balanced out traits even if it means bending the rules. Besides, if everything is subjective, why should you restrain yourself from being more creative just because of what other people think? You might even potentially be able to change their minds about what makes an OC good by proving to them that an edgy winged OC can still be a well thought out and balanced character. You want to hear my opinion on what makes an OC good? I think an OC is good if the creator has a lot of fun with their character and really enjoys their character. That's it. If you have a lot of fun with your character and enjoy your character, then that most likely means that you've made a good OC that other people find interesting and likable as well. I don't mean that as in people should make their characters over the top Mary Sues. You do need to add flaws and realistic traits to them, but I don't think that people should panic over making their character 100% realistic and normal to make sure it isn't a Mary Sue, or else they may not enjoy their OC. You're making a character boring to meet the criteria of what someone else thinks makes an OC good and not what you think makes an OC good. Why do characters need to be normal, boring people to stay out of the Mary Sue zone? An example of what I mean is Undertale. Are any of the characters in that game realistic? Are spider girls and fish people and walking skeletons with telekinesis real? No, they aren't. Does that automatically mean they're all Mary Sues? No, they're fun developed characters that people really enjoy due to the fact that they're all very fun, well written, and likable. There doesn't need to be an explanation for everything to make a character realistic and good. They have plenty of unrealistic traits, but on top of that they also have many interesting flaws and faults that could be expanded upon to make an interesting story out of it. They're fun characters with realistic and gripping faults and flaws that make them entertaining, and on top of that, their traits are balanced out to keep them from being Mary Sues. Basically, you can make an unrealistic character likable and well-written and not a Mary Sue without having to make them completely 100% normal and boring, just to meet the criteria of what someone else thinks is good. Again, think of the stigma of your OC is bad because it has wings and blue hair. That is what I'm getting at. You can make a complete edgelord a well-likable and well-written character, and you shouldn't have to restrain yourself to what other people think. Others' input is always good, but it's not always something that you must abide by. But of course, this is all just my opinion. I'm sure there are plenty of people that disagree with me, and I'm fine with that. What makes a good OC in my eyes doesn't mean it's the only way to make an OC good, period, and you shouldn't take my opinion on what makes one good as gospel. The point of this video was about how we should start teaching people to make their OCs based on the terms of what they themselves think makes one good, rather than making one based on what someone else says is good. I'm not by any means telling you to just go out and make a bunch of Mary Sues, but you can still make a character interesting and likable even if they aren't the most normal, realistic person there is. Have fun with making your OCs. Do what you think makes one good and not what someone else thinks is good. Still, be open for criticism, as people may have some critique to help make your character more fleshed out and interesting. You can make your OC realistic and not a Mary Sue without making them the most boring, bland character there is. Don't be afraid to try new things and prove to people that you can make an edgelord with neon pastel hair a likable, balanced out character that isn't a Mary Sue. But what makes a good OC in your opinion? Let's have a discussion in the comments about it and bounce ideas off of each other. There's never been a specific way to do or make anything, because after all, everyone has different ideas and opinions and perspectives that could all be brought to the table that could potentially make ideas better. Let's see if you guys can give each other some tips and advice about OC creating that others have never considered or thought of before. Before I end this video, I just wanted to say that I'm changing my upload schedule to Fridays. I know I've only been on Monday for like 3 weeks, but I've decided that Fridays are probably better for all of us. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please comment, and I'll see you next week.